So when it comes to the SN2 versus E2 reactions, that is probably one of the easiest comparisons. But there are still some important things that you gotta keep in mind, so let's look at when exactly SN2 and E2 reactions compete with each other and how to predict the outcome. In the case of the SN2 reactions, the reaction has a concerted mechanism. The nucleophile comes in, kicks our leaving group out, and we get the product right away. So, for instance, let's say we have this reaction where I have my 1-bromobutane and I'm reacting it with methoxide. So in this case, methoxide is going to come in, push my bromine out like so, and we are going to get our final product right away. Easy. In case of the E2 reactions, we are going to be using a base that's going to come in and snatch the proton from the beta position to our leaving group, and similar to the SN2 reaction in the sense that there are no intermediates, we are going to get our final product, our alkene, right away. So for instance, let's say I have this 2-bromobutane and I am reacting it with methoxide again. Well, in this case, my methoxide is going to come in, pull the proton of the beta position like so, and kick the leaving group out, of course, at the same time, and we are going to get our final product, the butene. 2-butene to be more precise if you like. So when it comes to our SN2 versus E2 reactions, in the case of the SN2 reactions, typically we see them on primary or secondary alkyl halides or leaving groups. They do require a good nucleophile, they are stereospecific, they do the inversion of the stereochemistry, so all the stuff that we know very well. In the case of the E2 reactions, they can happen on either primary, secondary, or tertiary leaving groups. They do require strong base, or better yet, base-only type of reagents, and they're also stereospecific, where the starting material will define the structure of our final product in many cases. Now, where they do overlap and compete is in the case of secondary alkyl halides or secondary leaving groups, when our reagent is both base and a nucleophile. Typically, that's going to happen when your base/nucleophile is an alkoxide. So in this case, we are talking about things like OH-, methoxide, ethoxide, and so on. Things that are not too bulky to be a base only, but they are still very basic and nucleophilic at the same time. And the general rule of thumb here, the general predictive model for these cases, if you like, is going to be that in the case of the primary alkyl halides or primary leaving groups, we are typically going to see the SN2 as the major product. For the secondary alkyl halides or leaving groups, E2 is going to be the major product, although SN2 is still going to be formed as the minor product in many cases. But in the case of the tertiary alkyl halides or leaving groups, the E2 is going to predominantly be the only product that you're going to get. So, for instance, let's say we have this primary alkyl halide and I am reacting it with sodium ethoxide, which is base and a nucleophile, and it is not very bulky. Well, since in this case we are dealing with the primary position, we are going to form both SN2 product and the E2 product. However, we would expect SN2 product here to be our major product. Now, if let's say I start with the secondary alkyl halide like what I have over here, well, in this case, I am also going to get elimination and substitution products. However, the elimination products here are going to be my major products. And because secondary alkyl halide in my example here can give me two possible alkenes, I'm showing two elimination products. Now, and lastly, if I have my tertiary alkyl halide over here, well, in that case, the only reasonable products that I should write here would be the E2 products. And like in the previous example, there are two possible products, so I'm showing both of those possible E2 products here too. So remember, the only time when E2 and SN2 reactions are going to compete with each other is in the case where you have a secondary alkyl halide or secondary leaving group in general, and you're reacting it with the base and the nucleophile, which typically is going to be a smaller alkoxide. And in that case, the E2 is generally going to win. That's why I said at the beginning that this is probably one of the easiest comparisons. So as always, thank you for watching. If you learned something new today, boop the like button, subscribe for more, and I will see you next time.